Welcome everyone. In this short video, we'll be exploring the SoftChalk Score Center located within your learning management system. I'm going to show a specific learning management system, but the Score Center works the same for any learning management system. I'm going to navigate into the LMS. I'm going to log into that learning management system as an instructor. I'll then click on the lesson title that was added using the SoftChalk Cloud Link Selector tool. I'll click, and that will then display the SoftChalk Score Center. The Score Center gives a visual representation of how your students have done. For example, the first thing we notice is 78% is the average score for our lesson. I also can see the total possible score, average score, what the current high score is, and also what the low score. It shows me the scoring method that can easily be changed and also the maximum number of attempts. Let's look right below that initial graphic, and we then see information regarding the lesson averages. I have 7 attempted versions of the lesson. The average is 38.16. I then can look at each one of the quiz questions or scoring opportunities, and I can see the average point for each one of those scoring opportunities. Right below it, we see the percent of students who got that particular one correct. Below this, it shows us a list of all of the students who have attempted this lesson. We can also look at an individual score. For example, I'm going to look at Harry's score. I click on his name. It shows me when he attempted the lesson. It shows me the duration and the number of points they earned. I click on any one of those links, and it then shows me detailed information about that particular attempt. As I look at my quiz question on page 1, I can click on it, and that shows me it's an essay. I then can read the essay and determine the number of points that that essay is worth. I can change their score, which is currently 39, and I'm going to give them 4 points for the essay. So I'll click on the actions and change the score. The new score is going to be 43 points. And the reason for that is 4 points added for the essay on page 1. I then change their score. It changes their score not only in the SoftChalk Score Center, but it also will change their score in the gradebook of your learning management system. I'll close this, go back into the class average. As we see, the Score Center shows us quite a lot of information about our student. How can we change the scoring method? When we go back into our class average, we can look at actions and change the scoring method. There are 4 available scoring methods: the first score, the highest score, the average score, and the most recent score. I've chosen to make it the highest score. I save the changes, and that will update everybody's score that appears in my lesson. Also will update all of the scores that would appear in the gradebook. Other things that we can change from our Score Center actions, we can change the maximum number of attempts. As a default, it's unlimited, but we can change that to any value from 1 through 10. We save the changes and it updates. Other actions that can be performed would be something you would do toward the end of the semester. If you notice that there are students who have not completed a lesson, meaning they may not have a score that's actually in the grade book, but we notice them in this list of attempts. What you can do is complete all of the attempts for the students. If we look at an individual student, and I'll choose Harry Bosch, and I look at an attempt for that, there are actions that can be performed for this particular student. We can change their score. We can give them feedback. I can clear an attempt. I can restore an attempt. And I can complete an open attempt. And if I wanted to, I can reopen something that's already been completed. If I wanted to give feedback, I choose Give Feedback. I then put in whatever feedback I would like to give them. So I've put in some feedback. I'll then save that feedback. Now this was for Harry Bosch. I'll close this. Harry could then go back into the lesson and he would then be able to see the feedback that we have given him. When Harry next tries this lesson, he could then click on this feedback in previous attempts. He can click and he then sees the feedback that the instructor has given him for this lesson. We can also see the score that he is possible and what his current score is. We'll then come back into the lesson itself, click. We're ready to start the lesson again and continue. So the students can see the feedback by clicking on this feedback and previous attempts, and it shows them how they've done and whatever information we had given them. That's what the SoftChalk Score Center gives you the ability to do within your learning management system. Thank you.